Woo, baby.
Sometimes I go to the movies and I walk away mad. I just wanted to see some boobies, and I want.
Oh my God, DVDs!
What can I do? What can I do? I can watch some creepy, crappy movie reviews. Creepy, crappy movie reviews.
It's sweep. Doodly fucking do.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Creepy's Crappy Movie Reviews. I am the Creepy Kentuckian. I want to take you on another trip through crappy movies past. And we're going to be talking about, this week, a particular movie that's a favorite of mine from one of my favorite DVD companies. They actually released this one a couple of years ago. The Retro 80s Horror Collection. I think I actually talked about another movie from this collection called Cannibal Campout a few shows back. But this one still remains my favorite of any of the Camp Motion pictures from the Polonia brothers, Mark and John. This is Splatter Farm. And I'll give you a little bit of a backstory on this movie as always. It's a shot-on-video film from 1987. The young filmmakers, the Polonia brothers, they starred in this, and they pretty much did everything. The makeup effects, of course, the direction, the acting, the lighting, all that. I mean, it was, a two-man show, if you will, or a two-kid show. They were only 17 when this was made. And the story of Splatter Farm is awesome. The two brothers, of course, played by Mark and John Polonia, spend a summer vacation with their aunt, her name's Lacey, I think, at this farmhouse. And from right then and there, you know what kind of a movie this is, what kind of a budget movie this is. Because the actress that played Lacey, Aunt Lacey, I don't think she had too much experience in the acting field, and you will notice that right away. But when they get there, they notice that she has a farmhand by the name of Jeremy, who acts really strange. He doesn't really say much, and push comes to shove, the brothers are really freaked out by him from day one. They notice a really hilarious scene is they notice him cutting his arm up, and one of the brothers goes out and, like, one of my favorite scenes, it causes him to vomit. And then the next shot, they have a cat lick the vomit, eat the vomit. I mean, this movie has a lot of really gross out stuff in it. And anyway, it turns out Aunt Lacey's sort of like this necromaniac, if you will, necrophiliac, who keeps her dead husband locked up and has sexual relations with her dead, rotting husband. And I don't want to spoil the whole story, but Jeremy is involved, of course, and he is the main killer throughout the movie, and torturer, and everything else. I mean, he's the cause of all this sadistic shit. And there's some stuff in this movie that is monumentally great, and a lot of people would consider it disgusting, the great film known as Splatter Farm. But to me, this is just 100% grade A greatness. So, some of that stuff involves Jeremy tying up one of the brothers. And the forms of torture he uses is quite memorable, and involves him urinating all over one of the Polonia brothers. I know the Polonia brother. I think his name was John Polonia. Passed away last year. And I would distinguish them if I knew which was which, but they're twin brothers, so I'm just going to say one of the Polonia brothers because I have no idea. And I want to say though that it's horrible that at such a young age he passed on last year. But anyway, one of the Polonia brothers tied up. Gets pissed on first. If that isn't bad enough, Jeremy yanks his pants, underwear off, and they don't graphically show this, but you're given the impression that Jeremy sticks his whole hand up one of the Polonia's ass and pulls out a hand covered in it looks like it's supposed to be shit, but it looks like peanut butter and chocolate pudding or something, and proceeds to wipe the Polonia brother's face with his shit. And a lot of people would think that was disgusting, but I was laughing my ass off the whole time, and I know this movie, what this movie was meant to do, and that was entertaining. And that's all I ever ask for. People often ask us why we're not fans of Hostel and Cabin Fever and Hatchet and movies like that. Well, the bottom line is those movies aren't entertaining. Splatter Farm is, okay? And the Polonia brothers went on and they made tons and tons of these low budget movies, but it all started with Splatter Farm. And you can, I know there's an audience out there, people that don't like these type of movies, that sort of raise their nose, if you will, at these low budget horror filmmakers, especially the ones that involve some black comedy like Splatter Farm. Let me tell you something. 17-year-old filmmakers had little experience. They got this bad boy released on video back in 1987, and it was a cult hit. And when they re-released the DVD, they went back and edited the movie they wanted to edit, and without going any further, I would highly, really above the other movies that I've mentioned so far in this sweeps week. I know this is probably going to be one of the only horror movies I review this week. Splatter Farm gets the highest recommendation from me, and nothing describes a creepy, crappy movie better than this. And when I say that, I mean that in the best way. This movie is awesome. Check it out. It's Splatter Farm from Camp Motion Pictures. The Polonia brothers, great filmmakers in my opinion. So until next time, I'm the Creepy Kentuckian, and you've been watching Creepy's Crappy Movie Reviews.